Welcome to Dip a Toe. How you doing, Simon?
I'm doing very, very good. Melissa, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Hump day.
It's hump day. Hump
Absolutely.
day.
Happy hump day to you and happy hump day to all of our fellow cryptopians and dipatoers out there.
Yeah. We got a great show in store. We entitled this what? Lessons, mindset, and planning. Making some plans for this
Oh, if we did the last thing first, I
yeah.
think
We would be okay.
yeah. But I think it's just, it's part of the learning.
Yeah. Well, I
What's
thought
good, Lisa?
hey guys, welcome to Dip a Toe. I got to make sure I'm hearing myself again on the. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
know if somebody can look in spaces and say and let us know if you can hear Simon or not again,
Let's see.
because we're
Nobody
having
wants to
we're
hear.
having that.
Nobody wants to hear me, anyways. I'm just here for like antics and animation character kind of stuff.
Everybody wants to hear what you have to say.
Everybody
Everybody.
trying to get some crypto. While you're figuring out the sound check on the X Factor, I
Yeah.
am going to be trying to bring up the play of the day. That's right.
Ah,
We're gonna talk about a play that after the last show we did last week, after when we went backstage to the VIP party,
yeah.
Melissa and I had quite a few discussions, but one of those she was mentioned to me about a coin that she's kind of wanting to get out of for reasons, and we'll go more into that. But we're going to talk about the play of the day
Yeah.
here in just a little bit. So I'm getting that set up to see if this is a play that makes good sense.
Okay. All
Ba-da-ba-ba,
right.
they love you.
Yeah, and so the other things that we thought we would talk about tonight, some of the lessons that we've learned and mistakes that we've made, because that's always a topic that should be brought up time and time again.
Time after
Also,
time.
the question to ask yourself, why are you invested? What are your goals? Those types of questions we're going to touch on. And then this is maybe a life-changing bull run. You hear a lot of chatter about that. And what are your goals? Do you have any goals? We're going to talk a little bit about emotions. We're going to talk a little bit about exit strategy, maybe a little on ramp, off ramp action. And then something that I wanted to touch on a little bit later too is back to the wallet thing and setting it up, giving yourself a chance for success right out of the gate, especially if you're a new dip-a-toer. Or even if you're like me, I've been in this several years now, but I'm continuously learning things. So lots to talk about tonight, Simon.
Lots and lots. I
So
almost kind of want to take a bet to see if we're gonna get through it all.
I know.
But I already won. I already won my day in court today, so I don't want to take any more bets. I'm gonna take the win and run.
Yeah. You wanna what was your day in court?
I fulfilled my civic duty as a United States citizen. I was chosen to for jury duty. It was my first one, and went down there. An interesting process. Without going into too much about it because it's still a live case and blah 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 blah. But I was the second person juror that said, "Hey, thank you for your service. There's the doors." Damn, man! I didn't even get a chance to speak to any of the jurors about cryptos or anything like that. It's all right though. But it was cool. I'm actually most people are glad to be out of there. I understand why a lot of people don't want to participate. And to be quite honest, it's more of a financial thing than it is, I think, a lack of participation. It's just like, you guys, if I get to be a juror in the case, you all are going to give me $10 a day to stay here.
Thanks, guys. That'll cover my coffee and bacon.
I
That,
take payments in
maybe.
XRP.
Yeah.
We can handle that right now. No check in the mail, none of that. Jury's done. Here's my badge. Scan your barcode. Beep beep. Okay, I got my XRP and I'm deuces.
Right.
That's how that would. I'd be okay with that, right? That has a potential for, if you buy all the hype, that has a potential for $10,000 or something like that. But that's all speculation. I don't have any facts to back that up. But life is good.
Life is good. Well,
So that's what I'm.
that I'm glad that you didn't actually have to partake in it very long. You just got to
Yeah.
experience
Mm-hmm.
the whole system and how it works. And I had that same thing too, where they called me for jury duty, and I thought for sure they were going to keep me. I made it through maybe 7 rounds of dismissals, and they looked me right in the eye and said, "Juror number 9, you're out of here." And I said, "Bye."
You're out of here. Hit the door.
but so I kind of told you a little bit the other day, but I wanted to share with our audience a little surprise that I had the other day.
Yeah.
It's always good form to check your wallets out a little bit, and make sure everything's in good working order. Make sure that you remember how to log in and all that good stuff. And so I was going through and checking my stuff, and I'm a dip-a-toer, so I had dipped a toe in the Uphold app, and quite some time ago. I heard about this Pepe coin, okay? And I am not a meme coin type of gal at all by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not. However, Pepe.
It only, full transparency, it only takes one meme coin
Yeah.
to be a success for you to be a part of that camp. Like, once
know.
you have one win, you're kind of in a little bit. No lies.
Right. So Pepe is a little near and dear to my heart. And I, the novelty of it, and it was a really low price. I think my average price in was like 0.0001 or something like that. And I got several million of them. And I had traded, I do things on a small scale, and I had a little XDC, and I traded like $35 of XDC for the Pepe coin, and I got like, I don't know, 37 million or something like that, right? And so I did that. I got it in the thing, and then they also have an area within the Uphold app that you can put I guess what do they call it, like a limit order or like a limit sell or what, I don't know what you call it. I was able
to limit
to
order.
I was
limit order.
or limit or well, and I was selling it, right? And so at the time I thought I'm just going to put this higher price, in to sell it. And I just did it and I forgot about it. And it's been quite some time. And since I looked at it. And so when I got back into my wallet the other day, it said I had $100 of cash USD in my wallet. And I'm like, well, I don't leave cash money just hanging out in my Uphold wallet. Like, how did this happen? And I look and I see that, I had sold like 20 million Pepe coins. And I made, I made, $100 or whatever. And it was funny because it lets you put in little notes, And I like put in one note. I said like trying this shit out, or like just seeing, like I left crazy notes to myself so I would know that when I looked back that, oh yeah, you really did do this, Melissa. Somebody didn't get in your wallet and buy Pepe coins. So anyway, I was pleasantly surprised when I looked at my wallet, and so yeah, so now I'm like, oh, I wonder what Pepe coins could go to. I don't know, but I thought it was pretty funny. I thought I'd share that with everybody.
So it sounds like you did a let's just see
Yeah.
with a set it and forget it,
Yep.
and you did a double check on it, and you
Yeah.
came out on top.
Yeah, I did an unknowingly double check on it because I forgot I did it.
Well, but that's it, right? I mean, that's why we go back and check. That's why we got to watch our wallets. That's why we got to open those things up. But good for you for trying something out, that wasn't working for you at the time. You're like, you know what? I mean, great project, but I'm gonna throw $35 at the hype wheel
Right.
and see what bounces or hops
Yeah.
in Pepe's case,
Yeah.
right? And now you still have a little bit of Pepe though, right? Because you didn't
got a
sell
little
it
bit
all,
of
right?
Pepe,
Right. So
right?
now you just gonna let it go. Come on, a penny, or we're
Right?
actually I think we're
mean-
really, are we close to that? Oh no, that's Floki. I'm
No.
thinking about
Yeah.
Floki. Floki's
I
close.
don't even know. I just started thinking about, I kind of remember back to when I got into this space. I think there really was a bull run going, and
Yep.
there was a lot of chatter going on, and there was people
Yep.
talking about different coins and tokens, and I had no idea what they were. And you can get taken for a ride in that when you're not really understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
But I thought, what the heck? I'll try to buy a little bit of this. Apparently, that was my mindset that night. I thought $35, no big deal,
Well, okay, hold on. Let's be transparent on this because that's what this shows. That's kind of one of its core principles. How many white Russians were in the room?
Ooh. Well, I don't know.
None, because you drank them all.
Probably none. Probably none. I probably did that completely sober. Because
Good.
whenever I will say this, guys, don't do crypto, anything with your crypto when you're intoxicated. It's not a good idea. Don't
Not
do
even
it.
intoxicated. If you got a beer or drink or whatever in your hand, no,
Yeah.
that is no, not even a
Not a good
cigarette. If you
idea.
still smoke cigarettes or whatever, you should just like, nope, that cigarette goes away. Focus. Focus.
Yeah. Don't be trying to do things on the fly. And one thing that I heard from people that are really experienced, I've heard it over the years, that they confess that they've gotten a little bit too comfortable, right? So we enter the space very cautious, we don't
Yep.
know what we're doing, and then you start getting a little bit confident and you start letting certain things slide or whatever. And so, it's a friendly reminder just to always be mindful when you're handling your crypto. Don't let yourself get overly confident, because then you open yourself up to potential loss.
Well, anything really.
Right.
I mean, if you're not paying attention, and you're like, oh, I've done this 100 times before, that's the moment that you need to take pause. And it can happen so fast. It really
Yeah.
can. It can just be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. You do. Do you also know that you're like kind of disregarding your core principles that we have in the crypto space? Or do you know you're doing that right now? It's like, oh, that's actually that's some of the mindset stuff that we're gonna jump into. But I'm happy for you on your $35 to $100 oopsie. Your let me try your let me try play. And speaking of plays though, I want to talk to you about this this trade that you're thinking of doing, more of a swap really. And
Yeah.
could you tell the folks just a little backstory, because it's going to highlight one of the things we're trying to highlight tonight, and that's emotions.
Okay. So I think I've mentioned on this show before that theta is a little pain in my side because I got into theta amongst all of the chatter and all of the influencers cheering it on and saying, it's going to go to the moon, it's going to replace YouTube, and it's going to do this and it's going to do that, and it's super great. And I happened to have money at the time, and I thought, gosh, these guys know more than I do. I researched it a little bit, but not a lot. I was pretty new into buying other coins other than Bitcoin and XRP anyway. And long story short, I bought theta at $12.15.
$12.15.
And I could have bought XRP, I could have bought XLM, I could have bought Bitcoin, I could have bought anything, but I bought theta. And I watched theta go down, 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 down. And I was just so frustrated with it. I've had many times over the past year or two where a couple years, I think now that I've had it, that I've wanted to just sell it, get rid of it. It pissed me off so much. I just wanted to get rid of it. And I think I even asked you before, and you were like, just hold on to it, type thing. And so I posed the question to you the other day, because I want to buy. I'm starting to look into Cosmos, the Atom token, and
Yep.
I was thinking of trading my theta coins for something that I think is going to be a wise purchase for the future. Not financial advice, guys. This is not a financial advice show. We're not financial advisors. This is just something that I'm kind of interested in dipping a toe into. And so I thought, man, you know what? I'm just going to cut my losses and be done with it and be like, get rid of it, buy into something. And, so what do you think about that? That choice? I didn't do it. I did not do it.
Well, I think you
know.
I think you got to recognize this thing has been a sharp stick in your emotional eye,
In my eyeball.
right? Right. So, and you've held on. Let's illustrate this right now on the chart on the screen. If for those that can see, and I don't want to go full screen here because we want to look at emotional reactions because we're talking about emotions today. So you can see right here. This is where Melissa bought right there. That white line.
Right there, baby.
That's where Melissa is. So Melissa,
Missy did that.
Melissa has held on this whole way down to the 55-cent zone, and now we're starting to make up some lost ground, right? That's what we're doing right now. And she's like, you know what? Right here, I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm ready to go. I'm tired of this ride. The popcorn sucks. They got their bathrooms are horrible. I'm ready to go, right? And this is Melissa's kind of emotions, and I get that. I've been there, and she wants to go into Atom.
Cosmos. Yep, Atom.
Cosmos, ATOM. And we're looking at a chart of Atom, and both charts are on the day chart. And let me clear out of that real quick. Okay, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I was talking to Melissa, or why I'm showing these charts to you, the reason when I was talking to Melissa, I said, Melissa, if you sold right now, right here, okay, I'm going to go over to Atom now, and you bought, let's choose a different color though, maybe a different color, and you bought right here for Cosmos or we're going to go green. Then what would that look like if Melissa sold at all-time highs? And the reason why I brought up sold is because her pain point is this. She's lost and lost and lost and lost. And now we're kind of moving up, And she's like, you know what? I'm done. So what is the percentage difference between if she either if she hangs on right here and we go back to all-time highs and she sells at 1583, that's 365%. If I bought in right now, so let's say Melissa wanted to sell and I bought her theta. I said, cool, I'll take that. If I wait till all-time highs, I'm going to be 365% up on my funds if I decided to liquidate. Okay, we're going to leave that right, y'all. 365, by the way. We're going to remember that number, 365. 365. 365. Dang girl, fine. One more time. Okay, so and now if she buys right now, because that's what she's doing. She's getting rid of the theta and she's getting some Cosmos or ATOM. And she buys and she decides to liquidate up here at the all-time high, $45 and some change. That's a 222% gain. Now, for this guy, this looks a lot better. I like 365. If you just hold on. You get your money back, your original investment, and you make a little cheddar off the top. Right? If you do this, you technically would probably break even on your original investment. If you did this, how can we determine that she would break even on her original investment? Remember this 222 percentile right there. And I'm going to remember this number here, 1583, because as soon as I click this screen, it's going to all go away. Pew. Maybe not. Now it will.
Now it will.
Oh, bing. There it is. Magically gone. Okay. So I'm going to go up to Melissa's original buy. 250% if she holds. So technically, if 250% is the difference between today's actual retail price, $3.42 and change, to her original. Actually, that's not even quite there yet. All right, somewhere in there, give or take. Okay, so 256%. So that means that she, comparative to Adam, 222. She's got to wait for all-time highs. Wait for all-time highs, and you are 24% difference of a loss. You're down 24% over here. Versus if you just hold the line and even wait here to the all-time high and you want to get out, cool, get out. And then make your switch over to Adam. Right? Then make your switch over to here. And then you're in the profit, right? Because you held till you went back up. You did not take a loss. You locked in a little bit of profit and you switched and moved on with your life because you're just tired of theta emotionally, right? But this is how you battle the emotional part of looking at this with an objective mind. Okay, I agree. I want out of theta. I just do. It's got bad juju all over for me personally. So I want out, right? So that's where Melissa's at. So I don't know. I'm going to put it to the crowd. Do you think, is this a good trade to do now, or should she wait? I'm going to put it to the crowd. I'm going to wait for a comment here. And what I'm also going to do real quick is I'm going... What? Yeah, there we go. Out of theta? Oh, well, we do have a moment of theta. Yes, Elizabeth, out of theta and into...
Elizabeth's like, what? WTF?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, Elizabeth and I had a discussion a little bit earlier this afternoon on some theta moves. Elizabeth says I'm holding the 15. I'm going to just mute my camera real quick. I'm going to go let in my little fur baby. I'll be right back, folks.
All right. So, Elizabeth, I can see why, especially the folks that bought it at $1 or whatever they bought it at when they were pumping it up when I decided to buy it. And it really was going up so fast, and I was listening to several different channels that some of the ones that they had songs about it. And I even went on I even went on Theta Network and what like kind of checked out some of the channels. Like it's a gaming, like they're streaming their channels. And one thing I will say this to everybody, use your own intuition, because when I did kind of try to do some due diligence and find out about this Theta and what it was. And I went to the actual network and I checked out the video streaming and that was going on. What I noticed at the time is that it was a bunch of children playing video games and stuff on there, and none of the people that were pumping it and talking highly about it, they have their own channels. None of their channels were on Theta. They didn't have anything streaming on Theta, and that should have probably given me a little bit of a clue that if they weren't even trying to put their own material on Theta at that point, that maybe paying $12. But again, I wasn't super schooled on all of this stuff at the time, and I was excited, and I had cold hard cash in my hands, people. And that's another thing. We're going to talk a little bit about the emotion. I normally didn't have chunks of cash, and I thought, I got to get in, and there's all the hype, and I admit it, I fell for it. So
Mr. FOMO was like, I smell new money. Let's go to that house, see what they got cooking over there. Mr. FOMO just slipped right in your back door and said, hello. Look
Elizabeth,
at all these beautiful toys.
Elizabeth, I do actually earn T-Fuel on my Theta, so at least I'm doing that correctly.
So
what did she say? Lisa says, I don't have many talk about it, so I don't know. I'd probably hold. Thanks.
So my math was wrong, as some of you saw there where I pulled up the Mr. Calculator. You would actually be a 34% difference if you got out now and waited for the top for, in our scenario, if you waited to sell here for Cosmos and you sold at the peak or old all-time high, then you would still be down 34% on your money. So for me, that's a loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Theta is still, they're still going strong in the things that they're doing. So I can see where, once this bull run really gets going, I can see it getting back up to, and reaching an all-time high. And so I appreciate it, which is another reason, guys, we've created this channel, the Dip a Toe. Consider this your little network of friends and family, where we're going to try to help lift each other up and teach each other lessons that we've learned personally. And, had I not had Simon or some of, Elizabeth, any of these other folks that are in here, perhaps I would have made a mistake. So yeah, that's another reason why I love doing this show. But yeah, that's a little thorn in my side, the Theta. No offense to any of you Theta people, because I know there's people that are really passionate, but boy, it just, Theta!
I get it. That's probably, I have fell victim to myself multiple times on what we call repositioning. So that's technically what you would be, that's a version of what you'd be doing. Repositioning technically is you sell at a loss and then rebuy at a lower price. But you have to really, you got to ask the hard question. Like if mom and dad were right over your shoulder, yeah, but do you know it's going to go there?
No.
Okay. All you can do is do a very good educated guess. Crypto and trading is risky and not a guarantee. Absolutely.
And don't sell at a loss. Yeah. I think, that is true. I will say this though. I remember we had a conversation a while back. Elizabeth says, pretend you spent it in Vegas. I'm going to Vegas, by the way. I am going to that XRP Las Vegas. I got my girls. we're doing it. We're going. Not sure we're going to actually go to the conference because it you know, we're trying to save money for our crypto bags, but we're definitely going for all the parties and to meet all the people, and I'm super super excited. Crawfish, how you doing? Thanks for
What's
stopping
going on,
by.
crawfish?
So
So,
we had spoke before, Simon,
uh-huh.
about us, like when you want to move into another coin, like maybe trying to do like a lateral move or something, where sometimes it is okay to trade for another, provided that they're kind of close to the same. Like how you were showing the differences in, you know, potentials of how they can go up. So if you
Oh,
wanted to, you know, because I think that I can't remember which ones we talked about before, where you were like, yeah, you'd be fine to trade this for that or whatever. But I
so
can't
I
remember
I
which ones
base
were.
everything off percentages. Um, you know, that probably gives me the best picture out of
Yeah.
my picture. Here, we'll add this to the stage. Let me delete some of this madness here. Goodbye. Goodbye. Well, you know what? Let's not. We'll just leave it here.
I have
So
a feeling
something
our
like
spaces aren't working, by the way, since
no,
nobody's in there.
Joe
He said
said
it.
Joe's.
Yeah, but he's not in spaces. So I have a feeling
Oh,
that, and there's nobody joining spaces, which makes me think that they can't hear, only me. So
mm, that's
we'll
gonna
have
be
to
a
figure
thing.
that out later.
I know
Another
that's gonna
day.
be a thing.
We'll figure it out later.
All right, so something I look at even right now. So something that I go over with my clients. You know, kind of a I don't know, hand holding, if you will. I don't like that term. We got to find something better, but that's what's going on. You know, I'm
Coaching,
like, no, come on,
coaching.
coaching. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, so yeah, when I'm coaching the clients, and I walk through this process of like, how do you know that this is a good time to buy? Okay, just overall, big picture. I would come here and look at a chart and say, well, what's its all time high? You know, and right here with the sharp stick in the eye theta, you know, we're talking 1583. I was like, okay, well, cool. Well, then yes, right now that would be okay to even get in right now, just from a basic trading. If you did that right now today, you'd be up about 300. We'll just call it 350% because I know the line keeps moving and I'm not doing a very accurate pull using the tape measure here on the trading view. But
Do you care if
for
I
right
make it
now,
larger? Do you care if I make it
make it.
larger?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
There we
I
go.
can scratch my nose behind the scenes without feeling like I'm grossing somebody out. Anybody want a high five? Just kidding. so, so right now we're looking at a good 357% profit. That's just to get up to the all-time highs. And now you should ask the next question, which is, Simon, are we going to get up here? Now, that I would say we have a good probable chance. Well, why? Well, let me show you something. In this market, we have coins that are market runners, meaning they run. Oh, let's get rid of all this nasty. Okay, there we go. And shows us what the market's typically more than likely going to do. What happens to one can happen to all, or I'm sure some of you have heard the term a rising tide raises all ships. Correct?
Yes, I've heard. Yep,
Yes.
I've heard that.
Good, good, good. So here we go. This is Bitcoin. Again, we're still looking at the daily chart here. And this is what Bitcoin has done thus far. It has gone from right down. Oh, you turkey. Okay, we're going to delete all this because it's going to bug me. Sorry, folks. Delete you. Delete you. That's all right. I like drawing after after shows anyways. So it's totally cool. Got it. Okay. So we're gonna. Whoa! How'd you do that? Okay. So basically from right here, and we've gone up and we created a new all-time high. As you can check right back here.
Yep.
We're higher. So I would say just based on that, and there's a lot more that goes into it, but just from a very, very basic view, I'm learning about trading and learning about the reach charts. Hey, we hit a new all-time high. Just by a squish though, right? Only by, let's pull out a little measuring stick. Hey, we're about 6% higher than our old all-time high. Almost 6.5. Well, we are 6.5. So, could that happen to Theta? Yes, it could. Could that happen to, I'm so not going to bring up that coin, but could that go to, let's go to, Adam. Let's go back to Adam. Could that happen to Adam? Ding. Zooming in. Here you go. Yeah, that could totally happen. And that's what I look for. So is this a bad time to get into Adam right now? No. This is big picture, right? Big picture with cash. That's a play. You're going to be about 218%, give or take.
Or I could have used my $100 that I made from my
you could throw in 100, yeah, because you're in the profit. You could throw you could throw it in right now, $100, your Pepe, and now you're up 200 on the Cosmos, right? That's if you made a plan to sell some or all or whatever your decision is to how much you would like to liquidate. If you decided to sell here at the old all-time high, now in truth, not a bad idea to lock in some profit. Even maybe this. Here's a suggestion, just off the cusp. If you bought in here, advice. No, because we're just talking about hypotheticals. Yep. So if we're talking strategy, this is just strategy. This isn't, I'm telling you what to do. I'm showing you a playbook. It'd be like anything that takes a play, whether that's football, baseball, bowling, golf, surprise 40-year-old birthday party, whatever. They all need plans and all require napkins and pens when creating such awesome strategies. So, again, if you bought now at $13.96 and you decide to sell some at $44.75, that'd be a 220% profit. So basically 2 times your money. Now, that's only part one of this situation. The next question goes, okay, I like that. Well, how much would be a good amount to maybe liquidate? And I'm going to stop sharing the screen so I can lock eyeballs with the crowd. Yeah. Pull out your original investment. Pull that out. Get your emotions out of the game for a minute, because that's what you're doing. When you pull out your hard-earned, took me 3 weeks to get that money off the table and back into your pocket, so to speak, you suddenly become less concerned about the price movement of the coin that you just got. Okay? Like Melissa right now, she could take her $35 from Pepe. She could take it out and be like, I got my $35 back. Now, in a gambling term, now I'm playing with house money. Okay? Right. But I would also like to highlight, do not think about that it's house money. That's your money or your investment. You put up the risk. That's the reward, is Melissa, in her case, the total $100 minus 35. So you're talking $65 profit. So it took her, 2 years? 2 years to get $65. She waited unknowingly, but still waited for $65, and it took her 2 years to get that $65. That is a very precious $65. So take that $65 and put it to work. The play here is because she removed that $35 off the table, so to speak, and maybe she put it somewhere else, wherever she would like, maybe into another investment. that Pepe can go up and down. She doesn't care. I
don't
mean, she
care.
does, but
I
she
do, but
doesn't
I don't.
have that attachment to it. She doesn't have the I put in $35. I'm gonna lose all my money. Oh my gosh. No, you took all your money off the table and you have profit over there. So you can let that roll, take your $35, do it again. Let another coin get up 100%. Again, take your principal out, $35 in this example, and go find another coin and put it in. And boom, 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 boom. And you can do that. Now we're getting into something that's really spicy and nicey, and it's what is the true value of Melissa's $35 if she did that every time? She used the same $35 to have multiple investments start and grow and grow. And now she has a beautiful garden in the land of Cryptopia.
Yeah. Well, and I forgot to mention
Uh-oh.
something that I did do with my good fortune from the Pepe coin token or whatever. So I told you that I did this on Uphold. And while I was in there again, I was dipping my toe into yet another feature of the Uphold app. And I discovered that Uphold has what they call baskets now that you can invest in, baskets of tokens. They have different ones like technology and just they have different labels underneath them. And so I thought, what am I going to do with this $100? I'm not going to. I didn't really want to cash it out actually because it did take it back into cash, which kind of didn't want to do that, but that's what I did. But I took that $100 and I invested it into a basket to test it out, and it happened to have the Atom Cosmos token in there, and some Ethereum and a couple other. There was about, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 different coins that I could that was in this basket. And so I tested it out. I purchased the basket, and then boom, it was all listed individually, divided up amongst the $100 in my wallet. And so now I have like a separate wallet for Atom and a separate wallet for Ethereum, and that within the basket. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I put that $100 right back to work. And so now when those things go up, that $100 is my initial investment, right? My $35
Yeah, that would
plus
be that would be
65.
So yep. So now what you could do, right? In this our example that I'm laying out here is you could wait for that basket collectively to double in price. So you're up 100%. If you wanted to, in my example that I'm sharing, you could take that $100 out and go find something else. Maybe there's another basket you want to go play with, and you try it again, and another, and it's almost like planting seeds. It gets to a certain point, you cut the little leaf off, you start a new one, and now you got 2 plants out of the same one, and you kind of just wash, rinse, repeat at that point. But that's something that strategy is something that is found in Rich Dad Poor Dad. Again, probably one of my favorite books. A couple reasons: easy read, and it's a short read. Now, if he had some pictures in there, it'd probably be my number 1 favorite book. But Robert Kiyosaki, no pictures, no number 1 book for me. But it's definitely on the top shelf. I'm just kidding. It's a really good book, but he talks about that in there, about how his rich dad taught him to, you need to invest, but get assets, keep buying assets. And he mentions in there that Robert Kiyosaki would buy stocks, and once they got up double his original investment, he'd pull out his original investment and go find another stock to get into. And he just let that go at that point. It's like, he goes, at that point, it's free money. It's free. I don't worry about it. I'm not concerned. When do I exit? When do I go? You've essentially solidified the diamond hands hodlers lifestyle. Then now you just like, that's all. It's all free. You didn't have to put any extra emotional coin in the machine. you know.
Yeah.
And I really like that. That's one of a many good strategies. So, all times are a good time to get into the space, even if you bought theta at $12.15. It'll come back around.
Elizabeth Elizabeth says anytime can be a good time to buy if you dollar
Oh,
cost average and you cannot predict the market, which is a
nope.
perfect segue into this next topic that I kind of wanted to talk
Touch on,
about.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, what have we learned? We kind of talked about that a little bit and some of the mistake that Melissa made. But
Which we've all made.
something that's really important to know when you're dipping a toe into this space, because we're right now we're in a very exciting time. This bull run is reportedly supposed to be one of the most awesome, and there's a lot of different factors going on. You're going to hear a lot of chatter regarding price on these different tokens, and you need to focus on your own goals. You can't time the market. You're not a trader. I'm not a trader. I mean, some of you might be a trader, but most likely you're not. And you're never going to be able to guess the bottom.
We're
And you're not going to be able to.
we're trader enthusiasts. We're
Right.
enthusiasts.
We're dip a toe traders. But
yeah,
but
we're
you're
different toe
never
traders.
you're never going to be able to guess what the top or the bottom. You can speculate. I mean, if you have some skill sets like Simon, you might be a little closer to being able to guess. But I have heard enough folks over the past several years talk about regrets that they had where they didn't actually take any profits or take their original investments out because they were sitting on the sidelines waiting for an all-time high that never came. And so, you want to be realistic, and like Simon was saying, when it gets to a certain point where you can get your original investment back, and if that's your goal,
Yeah.
then you do that. But just know that there's a lot of folks out there that they are people that want to manipulate you into buying or selling your coins. And so you want to be very mindful of that and focus on your own goal. And so that comes to kind of the next topic. Do you have anything you want to say on that, Simon? Because those are, I mean, that's super
Hype,
important
look,
for
hype,
people to
look,
understand.
hype is very very tough thing to combat. Individually, in a group, doesn't matter. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. Um, Emotions are very infectious. Emotions with plausible data is even worse. If you can't refute the evidence that's put in front of you, then I guess sure it's a good thing. But yes, it is hard on the hype. There are people that talk up a lot of coins, and that's okay because you need to learn about yourself in those moments. You really do. You're gonna screw up. It's just if you're not screwing up, you're not learning, in my opinion. You can read, you can do all the research you want to, and you got to do some. I know it's a real pain in the butt, but you got to do some, and all that means is that you're willing to go to a channel like Mr. Man and read one of the documents that he posts, right? Even though it might be totally above your pay grade, and you don't understand what the heck is going on, you're putting in the effort, and that's credit. Okay, in my hood, that's credit. Now, or go read the Bitcoin white paper. Go in. What is that? Well, that's pretty much the creator or the creators of Bitcoin wrote a paper out, says, hey, this is what the problem is. This is what it's trying to solve. This is what it does, and et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot deeper dive into that. You might have to read it 10, 20, 30 times, but that's
Yeah.
doing your research, not just on a
Right.
company, you know. But yes, those are all good things. Shout out to Mr. Man, by the way. I know we're going to talk about his stuff a little later.
We are.
Gems,
So
lots of
so
gems.
we love Mr. Man so much.
Yes, we
He's such a
do.
great person. So you mentioned the emotion part of it. Um, there are ways to protect yourself from getting caught up in the emotion, and actually recognizing that you are being emotional when it comes to this. And so for me personally, I was super excited. I met so many new friends, quote unquote friends. Um, what I did notice with some of these coins, and I think you guys will notice it too, is that they most of these quote unquote influencers don't start mentioning the token for real until the price is already starting to ramp up, till it's already starting to go up. And so it's kind of just happened with the stronghold, right? I think it was stronghold. And I started like getting on the coattails of that too, where I was like, stronghold, what? I had heard about it. I didn't do my research on it, but people kind of lightly touched on it, not very much. But you'll hear some of these coins where you hadn't seen or heard of it at all. And then all of a sudden, all these channels are talking about this one coin, and you see it on Twitter and I don't know about Facebook, but you see it all around. People will start talking about it, and then you'll look at the price and you're like, oh gosh, I should have bought some of that. I should have some of that right now. And well,
Shoulda,
Susie's
coulda,
got it.
woulda. Shoulda,
Right.
coulda, woulda. That's
Coulda, coulda,
bad.
woulda.
That's your hugest red flag that you could ever give yourself. You start going down the shoulda, coulda, woulda. You have
Yeah.
walk away for a week.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
didn't mean to cut you off there, but
No,
I
no.
want to
I
identify
mean,
that. Just shoulda, coulda, woulda, right there. Yeah,
we did a show on the shoulda, coulda, woulda.
yeah.
But yeah, you definitely be mindful of it. Even when we're talking about some tokens and stuff on here, it's never to pump them. Like I can tell you, I will not do that. It'll just be something that I'm personally interested in. Every one of you listening to this show needs to do your own research. And once I started being responsible solely for myself and my decisions, I can't get mad at anybody. I don't want to get mad at somebody or sad that they led me down. I don't want to do that. So I take responsibility for my actions, and I feel like everyone else should do the same thing. Um, Pay attention to these things, do your own research, and try to figure it out whether you should buy it or not. But so one thing, Simon, I thought that a way to help us with our emotions, I started asking myself some really important questions. And
Okay.
one of those questions is, why am I invested in this? What are my
question.
goals?
Second
Why
good
did
question.
what are my goals? Am I investing in this space so that I can accumulate a whole bunch of Bitcoin that I'm going to hodl forever, or I'm going to buy a whole bunch of XRP or theta or what or am
How about some
am I
divvy?
invested some divvy, uh or am I invested in this to try to make cold hard cash, some fiat? Am I interested in making the fiat so that I can pay off bills or make myself more comfortable? Because when I started asking those questions to myself, I realized those are two very different objectives, two very
Well,
different goals.
all of that you touched on about five. In my
Yeah,
opinion, that was about
yeah,
five different angles you got going on there, sister. Some of them are very closely parallel to
Relate.
one another, right? Very close. But goals, what are your goals? Why are you invested in something? And of course that would lead you to the goals, right? Or maybe you don't have goals yet. You're like, I don't know, I just want to be rich. Okay, so
Right.
what are you going to do with it? I'm going to pay my bills off. Okay, you might want to rethink the rich part first.
Right.
you know, read a book.
Right.
How do the rich get rich? How do the rich stay rich? Or things like that, right?
Yeah.
Goals. I'd like to actually touch on one of my first goals that I wanted to accomplish by investing in cryptos. Okay, and I saw it was my goal was to take my own financial health and put it into my own hands, because I felt that I had a better chance of making decisions for myself as opposed to somebody else that doesn't know me at all. Right? So I saw a problem there, right? So for me it was really about a problem. I'm seeing a problem here. The the vehicle, or the retirement accounts that I was on and in, I did the math. Is this going to work out? Was probably one of my first questions that I'd asked, but I didn't recognize it as me asking that question. But in truth, I was like, is where I'm at right now, is this working out? Yes or no? And if I can't answer it, then I need to figure it out. And I started there. But my goal with cryptos was I wanted to take my own financial life in my own hands. And cryptos were the vehicle for me to see that exponential growth. I saw things go from, kind of overnight, like we're seeing right now, 20%, 30%, this and that. I saw a few things. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is great, but I have no idea what that is. And am I getting, is it a scam? Right?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about some of these things, but at the same time, I was also buying silver.
Hmm.
I wanted to save, but I knew myself enough to go, boy, you put that in the bank account, man. Weekend comes, you going out and you're going to Starbucks, you're gonna have breakfast, and then you're gonna come Monday and be like, I got enough money for lunch and gas for the week. Dang it. You know what I mean? Like again, all that came to what we're a little bit kind of not directly talking about, but that's going within. I had to go within myself. I had to look myself in the emotional, spiritual mirror. I had to get right with Simon before I got right with Jesus.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
so
Powerful.
that was it. That was my first one, and if it was working, then keep doing it. And what's my next goal? And my next goal constantly changed, constantly, because I had never been in that. I've never been down that road in my life because it was
Hmm.
new for me. I'm the one doing it. What are my goals? Well, this week it's this.
Yeah.
Next week it could be something else because I got inspired by something else.
Yeah.
And I mean, I jumped around from goal to goal to goal to goal to goal to goal to goal. It was a mess. It was a mess. But again, I had to sit down and go, okay, those weren't all real goals. Those were just ideas of goals that sounded good, that looked good, that said, hey, that might be doable, or hey, that's doable, or oh my gosh, I actually already did that one. Yeah, go me, check mark. Kind of like Melissa's Pepe move. Woo! I'm up $65. Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, high fives. It's like it's stuff like that, and the goals change, and this is very true. Your goals will change because life changes, and
Yeah.
sometimes for the longest time, and I'm going to throw it back to you here in just a second. For me, for the longest time in my life, on a side note here, I never recognized the little goals in between. Okay, I never
Mm.
recognized them as goals. I still don't, because for me that's just part of the process. The goal means like a deadline, a finish line. I
Yeah.
made it to here. Everything that I had to do in the in between was just part of the process. Okay, that's me. That's just how I work. Because if I get to my goal, you know what happens?
What?
I go I go sit on the couch. I'm feeling good, right? Right. What's the arrival syndrome kicks in? Oh, I
Yeah.
made it. I'm good. Yeah, man.
I did so
Yeah,
good.
man. I'm the boss in my house. Honey, I'm home. Hey, baby, what's good? Yeah, doing the dishes right now, babe. I'm on it. You know, that happens. So, where I was really going with that is, the even in the process of my goals, I recognize that once I get there, I stop. You know,
Yeah.
and
I
and so like for
feel
you,
like that's very
Melissa.
common.
Okay, I was gonna ask you. I was like, so does
It's
that happen
common.
to you? What's your? I mean, side note. I know we're talking about goals here because you do have to. What is your goal with crypto?
Mhm.
Right? What's your goal? You got to ask yourself that. But go one step further. What is a goal to you? What does that mean to you? Is that achievement? Is that I got to a place, or is that I was able to buy a thing, or was I able to pay all my bills for a year? What's a goal? And then, you know, go one more step further and do kind of the deep dive. Divide your goals up. And the reason why you divide your goals up are for recognizing where they go. Some are for relief. These are my relief goals. Pay bills, rather out of debt. We'll call it out of debt, right? Credit
Yeah.
cards, car, right? Right. That's a out of debt. That's emotional. I
That's a
don't
comfort.
have to worry. Yeah, I'm not worried about that, right? That's one. Another one that's like that is emergency fund. Maybe you're having a hard time just saving up the cash for an emergency fund, which arguably we all struggle with that. But you got $100 and you bought some Pepe, and boom, it's $1,000. You might go, cool, I'll take that, and now I have an emergency fund. That would be, that could be a goal. Maybe you're trying to go for the big thing. I want a house.
Mhm.
Or maybe you're trying to do another thing, saving for funds for the kids to go to school. Maybe you're doing one of the most epic things. You're taking an old trick from the days of old. You're waiting for that windfall so you can put it into a whole life insurance policy and now really start playing some
Oh,
awesome games. Maybe you're
huh?
doing that. All these little things are going to pop up in your crypto journey as they did for me. Mine was just my initial one, debt free. That was my first one. When I say debt free, I mean just all my collections and things of this nature, right? I wanted those gone, you know,
Stress.
and right, stress, right? Anybody out there that didn't get forgiven on a student loan, you know what I'm talking about, right? You're like, dude, that's 100 grand,
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
right? That's yeah, that's a huge issue. So your goals. So how do you achieve your goal? That's your next question, in my opinion, or at least what I asked myself, and I said, okay, if I'm up 100%, I'm going to remove my original investment off the table. And that was a goal. I said I'm good with
Yep.
that. No matter what happens, and I made peace with it. That's how I knew it was a real goal. It wasn't like this sounds like a beautiful goal and magical, awesome fairy tale story. No, this was
Yep.
I like that. I'm good with it inside, and I don't give a
I can do it.
rat's booty what anybody else says to me. I'm good with that, and that's how you really know that you have in my opinion, that's how I know I have a goal that I'm good with. Because you got to make sure you're good with your goal too.
Because everybody
Okay,
has their opinions on what you should do, right? You know,
absolutely,
I
absolutely,
I
and it
mean,
all comes to strategy. Yep, go ahead, Melissa. Sorry.
you no, you can hear lots of different opinions from people on what you should do with your money and how you should make your goals, but it definitely needs to be something that's personal. And oh, crawfish. At first, mine was just to retire comfortably. Now it is so much more. We'll be able to help so many people. Amen, crawfish. I feel the same way
Changing,
with that. Yes,
changing.
you evolve as you get it. So my initial goal when I got into the space was I'm super excited about the direction that we're going in the change and wanting to be part of the change that's happening, the transformation that's happening with the whole financial system, the digital transformation that we're going through, and wanting to be one of the people that leading the charge and in trying to understand what's actually happening. um, and learning about money for real, and and investing in something that I think is going to be the future for the long term. So my initial goals were um, study up on on tokens and coins and projects that I thought were going to be part of the future, and I continue to do that to this day. And then of course I did get caught up, like I said, with some of the hype, and you're going to be rich and all these types of things. But I wanted to, I do like you. I want to be debt free. Not just Elizabeth C wants to be rich. We all want to be rich. I want to be stress free. My goals are to set myself up and my family to not have to be stressed out about money, not have to go into a job where somebody else is telling you what to do, how long you have to be there for, when you can go home, when you can, what time's your lunch, all this stuff. I don't, that's not me, man. I need, I need to do stuff
I'm
on my
sorry.
own.
I just
I
had a
want to,
flashback of a story I had with somebody.
but I
Sorry.
want to be, self-sufficient,
Self-reliant.
independent.
Yes.
Yes, and I want to set
Financially independent.
financial freedom, and
Mm-hmm.
also to set myself up with the mental fortitude to, if it does happen, when it does happen, that I'm going to handle it correctly and put my money into assets that are
Mm.
going to make me money for the future, where I will always be comfortable, not having to worry about money, have my assets making money for me. So those have been my goals. And also like crawfish, um I I have always said, if I make a lot of money, I want to help a lot of people. I want to help particularly elderly people that don't have money or family, um, that need round the clock care, end of life type scenarios, because I personally have seen so many people suffer that
Mm-hmm.
don't have people taking care of them. So that's one of my goals. And so I have lots of different goals to set my grandkids and my kids up with little pots of stable assets for them, for their future, and to teach them not to let go of those assets. And so it's an ever changing uh goal line. And
It's
so
evolving. It's always
you said,
evolving.
what is it? I think goals are, there can be many different kinds of goals, and there are one, I'm going to do the laundry on Sunday. I'm going to do it from start to finish, and I'm going to put all my clothes away. Huh? They're not going to be
What?
laying in a basket on my bed all week,
What
and
are
I
you
have.
talking about? That's the
I,
best laundry policy. Look, you have 3 baskets. Baby, I love you.
uh,
And I'm throwing my own dirty laundry out in the street right now. But you have 3 baskets, okay?
yeah.
You got the clean, you got the in between, and you got the laundry basket, right? The clean, that's the fresh stuff. You're good. You don't don't fold it. Just it's there. Just
I
pull it
I
out.
got I got the I got the I got the. Is this clean? Is this the clean basket of clothes?
Oh
Is
no, you
this
gotta
the
have them different. You gotta have them different parts of the
or,
room. You can't you
or
can't
do
have them
I?
next to each other. That
I got
you'll get
I
cross
got
contamination.
I got the. Is this the dirty laundry? And then I got the. Did I wear this yesterday? That's what
Ooh,
that those
yeah,
are.
yeah. That's you got. I recommend different colored baskets. Really
Yeah.
helps out, right? Really helps out.
I wear, everyone teases me. Ryan says I'm Johnny Cash, but I literally wear black because I don't like to
I have a
think
wife.
about,
I
I don't
I
like
have I
thinking
have a
about
wife
what
like
I'm going to
that.
wear. So I have many jackets and shirts and things. I wear different kind of pants, but I wear black shirts and and
Yep.
jackets.
My
The
wife. There
layered,
was one time. There was one time where we're all like, hey, it's time to get new clothes, right? We both been, talking about it, and I look over her side of the closet. I'm like, honey, I think if you just got anything but
it's something
black,
color.
you'd be
Yeah.
you'd be you'd be winning. And she's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know. So she gets like dark gray or something like. I'm like, well, I mean, it's a different shade, but that's a good start.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was something I teased her about even today. But yeah, it was. I'm the same way though, because what happened? How I noticed that all her stuff was black, right?
Yeah.
I had a lot of blue. I like dark
Yeah.
blue, light blues. Like I naturally just had that over time, right? And I was like, I gotta get away from the damn blue. I gotta get away from the damn blue. I can't do it. And now, here aren't we a pair? We make black and blue. That's what we got.
Very nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I can relate to the bride
I'm
question. Like,
I'm
babe,
I'm
how about a
pulling the
yellow
where's
one?
my
Do you want a yellow one? I'll get you a yellow one. Orange, red, fuchsia, anything but black.
I just tell him, you bring me home something black, I'm probably gonna like it. Or I'll
Yeah.
say, where do you have you seen my black jacket? And he's like,
Yeah, yeah,
really?
yep. It's right.
Really? What black
It's over
jacket you
there. So
talking?
I think it's in the laundry basket. Which one? Ooh, good question.
The one that's not wrinkled. That one. That's the
Right.
one I'm looking for. But so I
Daily
guess we should
goals.
get
You're
back.
talking. You're giving reference. You're giving reference about daily goals.
Yes.
That's a goal. See, for me, that's for me though. In that situation, not a goal. I want clean laundry, and I want or I want folded clean laundry. Okay, that means I have to do everything in between from start to finish to get it there. So goal would be for me, clean folded laundry.
Here's a goal. I want somebody to cook my food for me and have perfectly created meals that are well balanced, nutritious, and will help me be healthy and strong as I get older. I want someone else to do it and do all the thinking about it. And then when I want to come in the kitchen and help, then I will join when I'm ready. But until then, I just want someone to do it for me.
Are you saying do you want
And I'll pay
you would like
good when
some
I have money.
would you like some staff?
I will. I will. They will be part of my family. I will treat them like the best, like my best friend. They will be my best friend. They will be cooking my food and they'll be saying, girl, you need to get on that treadmill because I'm cooking your food. So you got time. That's what I need.
You need a health coach,
I
24/7.
do. I do.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
Hey,
I would
that's cool.
tell. I mean, if I had a lot of money, when I have money, that is something that I would actually buy to invest in myself, in my family, because you get busy and you're going and you're doing things and the crap that you can eat out is just junk, you know? So,
Oh yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started on that.
uh,
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree, and that's something that on that goal that you're giving reference to.
yeah.
So, uh, I already have a plan. I've spent many months on it, on and off again. But I have a plan of what is to happen when a windfall of funds come this direction, however that may be, and I think it's pretty solid. And the play I always call him a play because I heard JT
Like,
Automations, by the way, he always calls it the play. I love it. He's like, oh, here's the play, and I'm like, the play, that I like that way better than okay, here's the plan or here's the thing we're gonna do. No, this is the play. See, I get excited. Anyways, whatever.
yeah.
So the play is you or I'll be taking 15% or 50% of said windfall, and it goes right back out to investment. I mean, not immediately, but it's allocated to investment.
Yeah.
25% goes to what I'm deeming as owner's pay, but in reality, that will go to um, bills for
Yeah.
however long that can afford me. And that's food, transportation, insurances, the whole coup de grace, right? And then there's 15% for tax, if there is any, whatever that's going to be. And then, of course, I have the mighty of mighties, 10% pay yourself first. But it's kind of interesting because that 10% first that I typically would do would typically go to investing. Now,
Yeah.
I spent quite a few months on like, well, I already have investing, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to lock up the 10% first, per se. But then, of course, you know where this is going. If you don't know where this is going by now, you should go back and watch, I think, episode 12, maybe. Yeah, something like that. So 10% pay yourself first is pay yourself first. It goes right over to the infinite banking concept, the whole life insurance plan, and that'll go there. Because that 10%, I know that I could more than likely cover that year over year. Day job, no job, whatever. I know I can meet that obligation. And that was really the hard part there of was committing and going, can I do this? Want or will is another question. It's can I? Do the numbers match up before we interject want to and will and etc. Again, those are all desires and emotions that play into that. Can it be done is the thing. So that's my play. That's what I'm going to be doing, and I really do like it. I think I might take this as a core plan. And honestly, I can't take any credit to this plan because this was given to me by another YouTube influencer out there called JT Automations, also known as JT Hustles. He brought on another business owner, and this business owner was teaching young folks how to get in the maintenance repair business. And he says, you're going to set up 5 accounts. The first one is where the money comes into. The other 4, how you split up that money. And as he said it, he did a little different per se, but the 50% was operational costs, right, to run the business. 25% was owner's pay, 15% was taxes, and 10% was profit. And as soon as I heard him say that, I'm like, dude, that's 10% pay yourself first. Profit, baby. Got to pay the tax man. Maybe. We'll see how that works out in our day in front of our CPA. Owner's pay. Yeah, we got to do it. And hey, the company's looking good. Everything's taken care of there. I'm like, as in, keep the business going. And that's when, after I heard that multiple times because I kept watching it over and over again, like I'm like, it stuck with me. I'm like, I need to know. What is this? Like something just get me to come back, and it was a really, really good play. And then that's kind of really when it hit me, probably about the 5th time. I was like, oh, this is my play. They say run the business. Yes, I want to keep my investments going. So this is what I got to do. I got to keep 50% of all windfall goes into the next investment. No questions asked. 25%, whatever, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's my play.
Hey, Simon, we have...
Yeah.
I want to say hello to the 32 people that are watching us live on our various streaming platforms.
Yeah, 32 heads in the house. Woo, woo.
And we've got 25 folks watching us on X, on my X account right now. I want to say hello. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate you. If we can do the whole beg for the like, share, and subscribes, it would be really awesome. We have our YouTube and our Rumble is at Dip a Toe. Please subscribe to our channel and like it. It would really help us out. It doesn't cost anything, and we're really trying to grow our channel. And of course, you can see we're a baby new channel in our infancy, but we sure do appreciate like you guys. Yeah, it's like a baby. It's like a baby.
Yes, thank you everybody for swinging through and giving us a listen and a watch. Real deal. Yeah, I hope you get at least one shred of awesomeness from this show tonight in this channel. Feel
free to chime in too in the chat if you're there. Unfortunately, I don't think our Spaces is working, so we'll figure out that next time, because we usually have people chime in, and it's always fun to
Next
hear your
windfall,
voices. Yeah,
next windfall, I'm
new
buying a direct
computer.
line to Elon.
Yes, Elon
Okay,
Musk.
okay, fantasy. Okay, fantasy stuff though. Let's do fantasy because this is
Okay.
what kind of gets the juices going. I'm thinking of goals. Okay, super
Okay.
fantasy. I want my very own bat cave. I've always wanted my own
Oh,
very own bat cave. Some type of version of it, but I want my own bat cave. I am gonna have the traditional fireman's pole to slide down. I do
yeah.
want the statue with lift head, push button, door opens type stuff. That's cool. I like a little old school there, but yeah, I want my own bat cave, or the Tony Stark garage, either one, or
All
if I can
right.
blend the two. Oh yeah, man, that's ooh.
I have some goals for myself, but I won't tell you what they are right now. One of
That's all
these
right.
days, I'll spill it. So let's get back to this bull run that we're in right now.
Let's talk
Um,
about that.
so as we're talking about emotions, we're talking about goals, we're talking about the difference between your goals, really, because they're two different things. If you're asking yourself why you're investing, and you're saying, I'm investing because I want to get as much Bitcoin, or I want to get as much XRP, or whatever your fancy is, there's a difference between having a goal and collecting a bag that you're going to hold for a long time, and or trading your coins for profit and taking cash out. Because what comes along with that, I mean, that when you cash it out, you are, depending on where you are, your mindset, but it does potentially cause you to have a taxable event when you're cashing out into fiat. And so you really need to determine what your goals are with that. And so
Ooh,
we talked about the goals and writing them down. What? Sorry.
you're right. No, you're fine. Don't let the tax thing stop you,
Yeah.
please. Please don't. Okay, just like what Melissa's talking about. Write it down.
Yeah.
Don't, if you know what the obligation is going to be and all that, like then I literally had another union sheet metal worker call me up asking if he should or shouldn't. By the way, it's the third time that I've told him to strongly suggested to do something, and he didn't do it. He had his reasons in that moment. He's like, you know what? No, I'm actually gonna wait. But his thing was, like the last time, is it gonna keep going up?
Like I
And
said, waiting on the
and
sideline.
so I interject. I'm like, hey man, dude, just pull your original investment out, dude. There's no wrong in that. You're not gonna care about it after the fact. And besides taxes, you just pulled your original out, and there's no tax there, right? No profit, no loss, no tax. I mean, reportable.
Yep.
Talk to your CPA, but just get that out. And wouldn't even he didn't do that. It's like okay, and it was a week later. Now here we are, and we talked about taxes. We talked about that. I'm not going to go into that because there was a lot of kind of personal stuff. So, oh, I froze. Look at that. There we go. I'm back to it. And after talking to him a week later, he was like, it was the taxes. He goes, honestly, that's what stopped me.
No.
I didn't want to lose X amount of dollars for capital gains or whatever. I said, okay, but you've kind of figured out a plan on what to do. And he's like, yes, actually, I did some research and da da da. Perfect. So don't just let the big T word stop you from making a decision that could literally be a major step in an improvement of your life. We all have to take that step at some
Yes,
point.
but
Talk to me,
I
Bruce.
do. I one thing that I do want to say is, don't be irresponsible with it either. We don't know what's happening in regards to taxes when it comes down to it. And what you want to do at minimum, if you're playing around with any of these apps and you're cashing out and you're getting, they have the potential that they're going to send you a 1099, because some of them do. Always download your transactions, export it. They all have that function where you can export your transactions so that you have your history. In the event that you end up having a taxable event happen, you will have the history of when you purchase something, and you can elect, whether it's first in, first out type, whatever. We're not going to get too in deep on the tax part of this thing. And again, it's not financial advice. I'm just making a recommendation that way you actually have history of your transactions in a physical form by exporting the transactions, and you can see, and it kind of gives you just a history. And then in the event that shit hits the fan and you need to take it to a crypto tax person, they'll be very happy that you have that information to help yourself out. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I think that is one thing that I think is very important. Whether you agree whether crypto is taxable at this time or that time or whatever, doesn't matter what you think. Still download and keep track of your transactions. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
And don't let it stop you. And don't let it stop you.
And don't let it stop you. Just be mindful of everything that you're what you're doing at the time. That's just my opinion. So I have to say a little bit about that. We're doing good on time. We have about a half hour, and I got a lot more stuff to talk about. If you do have these long-term goals for any cryptos that you're interested in, whether, like I said, whether it's Bitcoin or XRP, XLM, Hedera, you name it, there's a whole bunch of them out there. What is your goal with those? Do you have a certain amount that you're striving to buy? And if so, write those goals down. Write them down on a piece of paper. And for me, that's helped me stay focused on what my initial objectives were when I first started. And every time I met a certain goal that I had written down, if I could just get to X amount then I reevaluated that, and I'd say, well, if I can just get to this part. Now I'm at a point with certain things to where I'm like, okay, I've made those. Now I'm starting to make considerations of, all right, if I just bought X amount of coins, and if it did run up, then I'll feel comfortable selling these for profit to make my life better, or, possibly cash it out or invest in something else. And so I'm just saying that is something that's really helped me visualize by writing it down. What? That's so funny. What? Are you talking about Are you talking about this?
No. I was, but what pop? I was just reading the comment there, and Crawfish, you're absolutely welcome. I don't mind the, I love doing that. The hand signals while explaining, but what popped in my head while you're saying, visualize what you're doing, and I mean, and you're coming from the strongest place, the most purest place, and all that popped into my head right there was Waterboy, Bobby Boucher. Visualize the attack. Gatorade. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happens. That's when you have a mind like mine. By the way, there's a lot more of us out there than you guys will ever know, by the way.
True story.
That happens all the time. Like, I'm just picturing the fawns. Little baby. Never mind. Yeah. It's just totally funny,
Well, you're really
Yeah,
gonna laugh now because
visualize the attack.
my next comments were see your profits and plan accordingly.
That's right.
What do you see in that? I say see them, and don't be caught off guard in the event that your crypto actually does moon. Like, have a plan and pretend in your
Oh,
mind that you're already wealthy, so that way you don't freak out when you actually are
oh,
wealthy. So if you start
well, okay.
thinking about like what do I do? What like I think about if it did moon tomorrow, what am I going to do? First of all, I'm going to call in and say, I come to work. I'm going to take the rest of the week off. Right.
Would you?
Uh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so first,
Yes.
let's go down this real quick because I've had this discussion with my wife multiple times, and the one thing that she came back to that was really a really good point. My wife makes good points all the times, but this one,
She is.
if you can get
She's
if
a
you can
def-
get me to shut up for like 2 minutes, like you really hit a home run, or where I do one of these. Yeah. 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 But if you give me doing that, that's pretty good. And it was, if you quit, do you have any insurance ready to go? And I was like, ooh, nope, don't have that ready. And that's something part of the plan. You like, okay, some aren't thinking about that. We're just not. As you progress in age, you're more cognizant of those things, right? But so maybe you should have a plan of where you're gonna get your insurance first before you say, "I ain't
right
coming in," and y'all can.
now.
I'm
Let
not gonna
me
finish
let me
that.
let me be clear. What
You
I'm
be
saying
clear.
is, if I was clear, what I'm saying is, if I look in my investments have mooned beyond something that I would like, something that I'd be just like, holy smokes, I've got where my heart's going to start pounding. Okay. I'm going to take a week off of work. I'm just going to say, I've had a family emergency. I'm not coming in. I'm going to take the week off because I'm going to need to get myself grounded. I'm going to need to get myself like just me and my man. We're just going to hunker
You're
down. We're going to talk. We're
you're
going to
gonna
make
need
plans.
you're gonna need in that moment when you look and happen to see that it mooned. If it did that tomorrow, you would have to
Yeah.
do that in that moment. You would call in
Yes.
sick for the day. I know I would, and say, "Hey, I'm not coming in today."
Not coming
And they'd
in.
be like, "Why?" And I'd be honest with them, like, my portfolio went through the roof. I'm not going to tell you how much, but I'm not coming in today. I will come in tomorrow. You have my word, and then
Yeah. No.
go
I'm
from there.
taking
But
vacation, baby.
there's
Vacation,
there's a
baby. All the way.
there's a
Bye.
lot of there's a lot of like, I've ran through those scenarios, and it's good things to talk about. If you have a significant other, do talk about it. Go to fantasy land, right?
Yep.
Batcave meets Tony Stark garage. Like, let's go. What does that look like? Are you really going to get that? Probably not right away, but it
No.
will be part of my evil plan. Um, but because I've been there actually. It wasn't well, no, it mooned. It mooned. I had to calm down. I had to assess the market. If are we going to continue to go more? And this was back in 2021, and I learned a lot there. I learned a lot. Um, hey boss, take this job and shove it. I ain't
I
working no
ain't
more.
working here no more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much like that. Of course, if I really did that, a lot of the my fellow union workers would be, "Hey man, I'm gonna call you at lunch. What were you in? Blah 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 blah." Because they know why I'm not at work. They all of them know why I'm not at work. But in the last bull run, I had that. I went through that. I saw some of the coins that I run just start running, and then I had to pick my price. I did a lot of soul searching, and I really thought I had a good grip on what I was going to do next. And I did have a plan. I didn't plan for things to totally not go my way in my life. Not with the investment. The investment did great. But as it were, as most of us will say, God or universe, whatever you want to say there, had a whole different plan for me of what was going to ensue for the next 18 months. I learned a lot. I learned that that's not the way I wanted to go. Ugh. And it still does. It does eat at me because I had a whole different plan of what I was going to do. A whole different plan. The whole everything was totally different. All of it. All of it. It was totally different. But I'm grateful that I got it.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful that I got it. And so, the call up your boss and tell him to shove it, maybe just not quite yet.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not saying I quit my job. I like my job. I'm going to take vacation is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm
Immediate vacation. I'm down for an immediate vacation. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah,
I'm taking
yeah,
a
yeah.
week off,
You
and
should take two.
so this is exactly.
Take
And
two because it's going to take you time to sell your cryptos if that's what you're doing.
but if and so if you're seeing your potential profits and you're seeing the life that you want to lead, right? I mean, we do things like we look at homes. We go up north all the time, and we look at properties. We go looking at properties. We understand what's on the market. We see what's on the market, and we have plans of like where we might want to live. Or I mean, I've even been dabbling into thinking of other countries I might want to live and looking
Ooh,
at
which ones?
how expensive. Well, I really like Costa Rica. I've went there. I love it. And I love Alaska is another place. And so I could see myself living halftime in Alaska and halftime in Costa Rica, maybe some vacationing in Michigan, type thing. So these are things that, a lot of times people don't allow their minds to go there because
Yeah, go
they,
to
especially
Fantasyland. Do it.
where we don't have the money and the time or whatever. What I have noticed since coming into this space, if I have a vision of something that I want, I can make it happen. I do have the power, whether I'm poor or not. I am manifesting things that I never thought. Like for example, I said I'm going to the XRP Las Vegas conference, and damn it, I'm going. And
Woohoo!
as when I first started looking up and figuring out, I kept thinking this is going to be way too expensive, blah blah blah. I'm going because I want to go. A lot of people don't want to go because it costs a lot of money and they want to buy crypto. And I totally get that. I'm going for my people. I want to see, I want to hug my people. I want to party and, not get crazy drunk or anything like that. I'm saying I just want to party,
Just like
socialize
3 hours
with
of a
the people.
blackout and then come back
Right.
to it, right?
Yeah. No, but
I'm
and so
kidding. I'm
as
kidding.
as this all started unfolding, as I started to plan it, within 24 hours, um, we're creating a scenario where it's going to cost us a lot less money for us all to go because we're going to share a room, we're getting a big suite, and we're doing all these things are happening, and it's just a lot less money than when I first started looking up and saying I can't afford to go. And so by thinking about yourself as if you already are there, you can set yourself up when something does happen. And so if we do moon, then thinking about, I mean, a lot of my friends, they talk about lawyers, your tax lawyers, the family office type stuff. You've got the infinite banking. Um, you've got the Caleb and Brown scenario with the over the counter and, being able to actually pull out some kind of money. Because if it does moon people, I don't know if anybody has noticed, but a lot of these exchanges, in like you got the Coinbases and stuff, all of a sudden they start having little glitches and problems where you can't sell, you can't take your money off, you can't log in. Whoops, I'm sorry. And so might be a time for you to start looking into these over the counter. And like I said, we've said before on the show, for some reason, Caleb and Brown seems to be the choice of people across the crypto universe, whether you're a Bitcoin maxi, you're an XRP community person, or whatever. Everybody talks highly of Caleb and Brown. And so if you haven't looked into them, maybe check them out, get yourself an account set up, and just be ready when it's go time. And so that's what I mean. You got anything to add to that? Because the other thing that I was going to talk about is more like entry level stuff in terms of.
Let's run the play. I think we can run the
it.
whole play here. Ready? Here we go. We're gonna run. We're gonna run the whole coup de grace play. And I know some of you out there are seasoned cryptopians, but for all the baby cryptopians, this one's for you. So, you first identify why you're getting into crypto. Okay, initial. Okay, gotta go there, right? And then also identify how far you're willing to go, meaning in resources, money. Okay, how much can you do? Right? And then what is the off ramp look like to you? Right? How are you going to meet your end goal, your first end goal? By the way, that'll change as you progress. It's just how it works, right? Because after you meet that goal, maybe it didn't take everything you had to achieve that goal. Maybe you only took a portion, and now you have more on the table, and you have to actually play that out. So let's go a step further. So you got your, I'm going to put in this much over X amount of time, whatever that is. I'm going after coin A, B, C, whatever you'd like. And then, okay, when am I out? To meet my goal. What's it going to take to meet my goal? Not just, hey, I want these cryptos for life, right? Your original reason was for getting in to meet X, Y, and Z. And it always comes back down to, I want to take care of my family, or debt free, start a whole life insurance policy. There's multiple things, but they all involve you having an off ramp to be able to get that resource to do some other things. At least right now, that could change in like 5 years, probably, where we won't even have to do that. But we're not going into that right now. But while you're on your road of trying to meet that goal, you must it's strongly encouraged to play Fantasyland. What could you do at your life? Not just, what am I doing after debt free? I want a house. What after the house? Yeah. What after you pay off the house? Okay, cool. Now you have a surplus of funds. It can go real deep real quick. How are you going to ensure you're able to execute that plan? What do you mean, Simon? Okay, you're in for $5,000 over 3 years. You've invested $5,000 for 3 years. Your goal at first was $3,000. You had a few extra bonuses get thrown into the mix here in that 3 years, and now you've invested $5,000. Right? So you changed it. Right? You changed your volume of profit that could come through. Right? We're getting close. We're in the bull run. Things are running and running and running. Where are you getting off? Where are you getting off? You identify that. Pick a price. Yeah. How much of your asset are you either going to get rid of or utilize in a different way? Again, we're not going back to that, but you do have to pick a number. You do have to pick a number. Once you do that, get ready to possibly change that as time goes on. Yeah. Once you achieve that goal, or maybe not even once you achieve it, when you start getting closer to that goal, it's time to look at your plan. Plan your trade. Trade your plan. I want to think about, I'm going to say that one more time. Plan your trade. Where are you going? When are you getting off? How much? Trade your plan. You know what? That was a really good idea way back then, 3 years ago, but things are looking a hell of a lot different right now. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's trade that plan for this plan here. So at first, I was just on the airplane going to Vegas, but now it looks like I can upgrade to the first class. Woo,
Yeah.
shoot! For only $5 more, maybe, if I do it right now. Can I do that? Should I do that? Now, for you to execute your plan totally, you have to have off-ramps. Melissa mentioned Coinbase. Coinbase and other exchanges in bull runs have had their challenges where you're not able to execute buys or sells of a coin, or funds get tied up in their process, and you're thinking that stuff's going to happen lightning quick. And let me tell you, ain't no lightning, ain't no quick. Sometimes it can happen, okay? It depends on where you are at in the nation or the world or financial institutions. All these little tiny little inconvenient variables start popping up, and you're going to have to deal with them emotionally. So if you're you recognize you will deal with them emotionally because something's in your way and you're trying to do something and it's a hurry. This is why we plan the trade, trade the plan, right? So someone like Caleb and Brown thus far has not had issues on ramping, getting their crypto, off ramping, liquidating said crypto. Where are you going to store your coins? In the meantime, between your early investment to your end game, you have to keep it safe.
Yes.
And you're going to have to, recommended by yours truly, open up your cold storage wallet. Open it up. Send some coins from one place to another wallet. You got to know how to do that. You got to know what that looks like. There might be Exodus wallet might have moved a few buttons around on you the last time you looked 2 years ago, and you're going, whoa, where's the clicky thing?
My coins are gone. Shit,
know, right?
Where my coins at?
Simon, you got to turn the mouse button on. Oh, is that all? Dang.
That's like me getting on here saying, can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, darn it. Why is my mic not working? I didn't have it turned on. Whoopsie.
Yeah, those are on ramps and off ramps and how it plays out. You might be in a situation where part of your plan or off ramp is you're not going to be able to stick your 32 million Pepe on one order. Right. Meaning, like, let's say Pepe hit $1. Okay. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to go if it's going to do that. But let's just say it was going to hit $1 and you had 32 million of them. Okay. Well, probably you're not going to be able to dump 32 million Pepe on the market. You're going to have to do it slow.
Me and everybody else is going to be trying to sell.
Well, truly, all those people. Well, that's something else too.
Yeah. Do you
Everybody's
really
waiting
have
for
32 million?
Look,
No.
if you're waiting for the dollar, so is everybody else.
Yeah.
So would it be more worth it to get out at 80 cents and say, forget that other 20%? I got out. Like, I met my goal, I got my funds, and now I got the resources and some extra to keep doing the things that I wanted to do in my life.
Don't be greedy, people. Don't be greedy.
It's all about it really comes back down to your plan. And being good within it inside where you have that firmness within. I'd call it stubbornness or your bitter old man or your bitter old lady syndrome that comes out and says, no, that's what I'm doing.
I said what I was doing, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I do what I want.
Huh?
When that happens and you have the conviction right there, determination, boom, God will have to come down here and me and God are going to have a talk about it if you're trying to tell me no, go the other way. I'm like, I'm going that way, and God will have to come down here and say, no, you go that way. And even then, I'm going to be like, well, what do you mean go that way? I'm going this way. you know,
Because I have a plan. I got the plan.
because I have a plan. God's like, your plan sucks. Oh, does it really? Was my plan just to get here to talk to you, and now I got to go that way?
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And that can happen too. Back to
Yeah.
my plan. Had a whole different plan, and I had to change it up. And I learned a lot about my awesome plan. But yeah, on ramps and off ramps are key. Making sure your equipment works, your wallets, where's your seed phrases, and let's jump into that just real quick.
I
'Cause
did want to bring that up.
Melissa's actually been exploring a I know one of the metal wallets, right? Where you can put your seed phrases on, right? And after
Yeah.
we had that discussion, you know what I thought of?
What?
A Coca-Cola. Or, how do you know that metal is going to last? Oh, it's stainless steel. Yeah. Okay, great. But stainless steel has a really good success rate out there in the world. No arguments. But are you sure it's stainless steel?
Right.
You might want to buy one of these things first. Pour some Coke on it. Leave that mother plucker outside. Go burn it. See what happens. Because maybe your words on there, you might not be able to make them all up. Everything has their own their own rating. You might need to look. You're gonna have to look into that to see if that's doable.
Trust but verify.
That's right. Trust but verify. One of my yes.
Because 50, 25, 50, $100 spent now to protect your seed phrases with certainty is worth it than to have all your stuff written down on a piece of paper that can be smudged up, peed on, somebody accidentally ate it, got burned in a fire, whatever. And then what do you got? Okay. So
what about a tattoo? I know some people were talking about getting ink done. It's like, well, okay, you do know those fade away over time as we progress in our usage of our bodies, right? You do know you have a little saggy syndrome, and you can't tell if that's an A or if that's a 9 or a B or a Q. You don't know what that is anymore.
I need you to help me stretch out Grandma's eyes so I can see what the name of her words and her seed phrase is.
Yeah, honey, turn around. Stretch it out.
We're gonna need some help here.
Woo-woo. Hey, Mr. Stable, B-Man is in the house.
How you
B-Man
doing,
is
Brent?
in the house. Love you, brother.
Thank you for joining us. Everybody like, share, and subscribe to our channel, please.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you all.
There you go, right there. XRP slave. I got into crypto so I can become financially secure. Period. And to start a foundation if I make enough money to help people. Now,
that.
Slave,
Amen.
Thank you for posting that comment. I would ask you to go one step further. Help them how? Initially, right? Because that's going to grow too. The need for help might change. Are you going to be ready to do that in a way that fits you and gets you the result that you're trying to achieve for the people you're helping? Because most people that help, they do it because they want to help in a way that they want to help, as opposed to the need to help. There's a difference. In fact, me and my wife had a discussion on that as well. But yeah, that's a plan. But back to your metal key.
Yes.
Is that gonna last?
Well, I mean, it's going to last more than the piece of paper that I got my stuff written down on. Okay. I think more than one method of documenting your seed phrases for your wallets. Obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously. For those of you that are dipping a toe, if you start any wallet that you start, please do not copy any of those words onto your computer. Don't take a picture of it. It must be kept offline. Do not save them within within your computer. It's not a safe thing. And so all I'm saying is, as I've come up in this space over time, I have things I have things in a little convoluted way. I have my seed phrases written down. I got them in a safe. I got them in a waterproof bag, and I've got my things on an offline unit, and I've got the signed up with email that I don't use for anything else, never used for anything else ever. Um, I have the factor on another device that I never use for anything else. It's never been online, all these things. Okay. So every time that I go to open up and check any of my wallets, I have to go through this big ordeal, okay, of getting to it. And
And you're
I was
talking about
thinking,
when your coin moons. Look at
what?
all the stuff you
Yeah.
did. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? Like,
yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my
No.
gosh.
No. So this gets to the point here. So
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course, I spoke before about having a plan, and I had a goal of how many coins I wanted of this or that or whatever. And now I'm starting to think about, if I were to sell or trade it for a different coin or whatever, obviously those have to be in a different wallet for me to be able to access more readily. Okay. That's my common sense thought about it anyway. But I got to
Copy that.
thinking, a lot of people, there's Google Authenticator, there's Authy, but a lot of people have these YubiKeys. Okay. Well, I never got one of those YubiKey things because I'll admit I didn't really know much about them, whether to trust them or not. Like, I didn't really understand exactly what they were, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to see I'm starting to see that that is probably a good choice, because they too have the backup phrase that you can, if you were to lose your YubiKey, that you could re-update it, like get a new one, right, and refresh it with your wallet. So you wouldn't completely lose it, but you'd have to save it, just like you do your other types of two-factor authentication, in order to restore it to something else, right? So I start
Mm-hmm.
thinking about it, and I'm like, damn it, it'd be so much easier than having this authenticator on a phone that is completely dead now, because it's been in this safe for a long time. So I got to charge the thing up, and then I got to go to this email for the verification. I got to do all these steps, right? But I did that because I want to be as secure as possible. Like, I don't attach my stuff to any of these trust lines. I don't do any of that stuff, because I don't know enough about that kind of stuff, and I don't dip my toes in stuff that I think might be sketchy or whatever. And I've just been watching other people's experiences, and tries to stay away from it. So, but anyway, I wanted to know, what do you think about the YubiKey? And as far as the crypto steel thing, I just started looking at it and thinking, at minimum, if you're going to start up a wallet and you're going to write down your seed phrases, at minimum, get yourself one of those weatherproof books with the water resistant. Okay. They
Yeah.
don't cost very much. At least if you're going to write it down the first time, write it down on waterproof. But if you can progress yourself to having a crypto steel thing, they got the little tubes that you can buy. They're more expensive, with the little tiles that go in it. They've got ones that you can punch. They've got ones that you can scratch the things on. And even then, I would still have it written down in more than one place, right? Even though you got this, indestructible, supposedly crypto steel thing. I still think, yes, three, right?
At least,
Yes.
yep, three, at least three places. Um, different places. And I do mean different. Um,
Yeah, not all in
you
your same
know,
house, right?
Well, no. Even okay. So let's just do an example. Okay. Um, Maybe one close to where I can literally grab it. Okay. So in my home, that's at
Yep.
least that's two spots. Okay. One of them happens to be right next to the toilet paper. Okay. So there's one
Yeah.
spot. Okay. That whoop got it. Because that's just my luck. If something bad's gonna happen,
You're
I'm
gonna be
gonna
on
be
the
in the
shitter.
bathroom. Yeah, I'm. It's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That poor guy in what was that movie? Jurassic Park, the first one. He ran to the bathroom. He had to do it. He had to take care of business and hope. Right. See there. All right. So, anyways, all jokingness aside, you know, um, somewhere close to you to where you can grab it and go.
Yeah.
If you're in a hurricane situation, earthquake situation, like some real natural disaster stuff, you gotta think about that. Maybe you do have the weatherproof one in your go bag, so your earthquake emergency place, or somewhere close. Maybe you don't want it in there because all these thieves are coming up with good ideas. But anything like that, maybe in your car.
Yeah.
You got the metal thing magnetized somewhere. I don't know. It could be a place, but maybe not. Cars get broken into. These are all just little tiny things, to think about. But yeah, typically three different places are good. Are a really really good measure, especially for your long term holders. Okay, if you're gonna hold something, for anything longer than a year, that is suggested by yours truly to yes, write it down 3 times at a minimum, and have them in 3 different spots. Start small, start in your house. If you find another place that you absolutely trust and you can, for the most part and foreseeable future, can protect it and or have access to that locale, then go for it. But also start small. If you have a cold storage wallet, if you can do this, okay, this is a big can, but practice sending coins back and forth from one wallet to your cold storage, just so you get used to how your cold storage operates. Because if you get into a situation like Melissa's talking about, where it's mood, and she's talking about, boop, 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 you guys get, I quit. That moment, right? She's first gonna have to go, oh my God, it's up. She's gonna have her lottery scratch ticket winner, or the Mega Millions syndrome. She's gonna be in her car. That's gonna happen. Okay, and after that, you'll calm down. Okay, I need to liquidate. Drive home fast, looking for police officers and pedestrians and all that on your way home. Yep, right. And then wherever your cold storage is at, turning on, making sure everything's working properly, sending funds over on a test run, then sending the rest. There's a process right there. And in all that moment, you might be human enough to be watching the price up and down, up and oh and down again, and up and down again on your phone, and that's actually gonna mind job you. But that's in a moon situation. Typically, we can continue to see the price go up over time, not what most of us XRPers out there are hoping for, that moonshot kind of
Yeah.
overnight. But even then, we'll see it go.
Well,
So
yeah.
practice sending those coins back and forth. And another suggestion is recover your wallet.
Yeah.
Remove your coins off that wallet, right? And then do the recovery. Maybe leave like just a little bit in there so it's yours, on a certain
Yeah.
coin,
Yeah.
and delete it, totally delete it. Download, recover, punch in the seed phrases and see what happens.
Yeah.
Some people have not done that, and thankfully they didn't have the whole wad in there, so to
Yeah.
speak. But they did lose some, and
Yeah.
now they are out in the crypto space for any crypto pirate in the future to come and get those coins, so to speak.
One thing I will mention too, for those of you that are using two-factor for the first time, like when I first used it, I did not know when I set up the two-factor that it gives you a listing of numbers and letters, right? Your recovery passcode. It gives you one when you first set it up. If you don't, when you're setting it up and connecting it to whatever site you're using, if you don't write that down and you lose your phone and you whatever, and your account is attached to that two-factor, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting back in. And so, yeah,
it's a challenge. I've done it. I've done
yes.
it. I've done it, but it's a challenge. It's 2 weeks of every night coming home from work, learning and figuring out and trying and figuring and doing and figuring and trying, and I finally got it. And if you ask me how I did it today, I couldn't tell you, but I know I did it. It was a pain in the ass.
I did not know when I first set up my two-factor. When I first started, I didn't know that, and so I had a bunch of different things connected to it. And then I heard people talking about it, saying, you got to make sure you have your phrase written down for that so you can restore it. And I'm like, I don't have anything written down for that whatsoever. So what I ended up having to do is create different wallets for every single thing that I had attached. And then I did the practice move. So this was all really great practice for me, to move a small amount to a new wallet, then move all the rest, until I had all of them off of the wallet that was affected and the accounts that were affected. And then I created a new passphrase, so it was all gold. It was all good, and a valuable lesson. But I'm just trying to help anyone out there that might be new to this space, dipping a toe, and are excited, and maybe have a pocket full of cash that they don't normally have, like I did, and get all willy-nilly goosey and start setting stuff up and buying stuff, and then go, wait, what are you guys talking about? I didn't have, because that's kind of what happened to me. So I'm just trying to help you.
Sound advice come from the experience of new money.
Exactly.
I know we're a little over time here, but
yeah,
I came across something that I found very, very interesting, and this is related to bigger picture. I'm sure I was watching Netflix. Don't hate on me, okay? I was watching Netflix, and there's this show that just came out called The Gentleman. Now, I've watched the movie called The Gentleman. It's with Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. Really good show, but that's kind of my cup of tea. Anyways, through the show, the main character, he's a new duke. So this takes over place in the UK, and dad dies. He's the second born. And in that tradition, the firstborn is supposed to get everything and the title and this and that and the blah, 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 right? Okay, well, that didn't happen. The second son got it. So unexpected, right? That was what I caught on to. Unexpected, how do you respond, right? Yeah. And I noticed something in there that I found very, very interesting. That through this whole show with royals and well-to-do, very well-to-do posh people, and what they do for one another, and all this fooling around and whatnot, and what they do is they do something that is very traditional, and just basically it works like this: you scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. The whole movie was bartering. They would do a thing for somebody else only to get the thing they wanted. No money exchange. I found that very interesting. The only money that they used was to try to do the deal, right? I found that very, very, very interesting. And so I bring this up because we talk about within the crypto space of having diamond hands, finding a way to take an asset or a digital asset and making a product from it. Therefore, not having to give up your asset,
Asset.
or lose your ass at. And I know, I just found that very, very fascinating to me because I think that's where this mindset that we're all about to start learning about and
Yeah.
start having to institute and become
Yeah.
practice. Um, I found that that's a thing to do. It's not about the money. It's about what it takes to get the thing, or
Mm.
what can you do to get the thing. At that level, you just want not the reaction. You just want the result. Most wealthy people, credit to Alan Staple and the Staple Crew, they don't care about price. They don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not? Because money's not a thing, right? We're trying to get to that level, right?
They already
And
have
so
money.
right, they already have money, right? They're not
They're
they're not
looking
in our
for a
new
place to park their money,
park it.
keep it
Well, and
stable. Yeah.
it's more like, I don't know about, see, even in that notion right there, park your money. It's like, well, yes, but they're more like, I need to get a thing that remains liquid. For
Mhm.
them, they're on a whole different scale where we're paycheck to
Whole
paycheck,
nother level.
dollars to get milk, right? They don't do that. They go, what thing can I trade for the land, the farm, the this and that, so I can get my milk for free, so to speak, right? So when you're, why am I bringing this up? Because as you progress and you start adopting the notion of don't ever sell your coins per se, you might fall into that category. Alan Staple kind of like, you'll never. He says you'll never sell your Bitcoin. Why would you sell your Bitcoin, or why would you sell your XRP? And there's those of us that are like, well, at first I was just trying to get more dollars, but
Right.
now that I recognize that this is a rare thing, and I need to figure out how to not give this up and
Right.
still achieve the what might be unachievable. Like Slave was talking about earlier, what Slave wants to do for the big money. Where'd it go? It was cool. Bam, right here. Come on. Oh, wrong.
What? You on the
I
wrong
was
one?
doing the, I was doing the wrong screen.
Are
Stupid.
you, are you talking about
Dang
the
it. Yeah, that's a there. Don't worry, I got it. See what happens when we run over people. Um, so here it is. It's my idea is to help people in countries that have natural disasters. Okay, that right there. Without spending any dollars, how are you going to be able to do this? Maybe you
yeah,
got
without
dollars.
giving
That's
it up?
good. But those can go quick. So how do you keep it going for a while, a long time? You might need to have that asset, Bitcoin, well, XRP, sorry, and you might have to have it spread out all over through the AMMs right now. That might be your go-to of how you keep feeding that machine so it doesn't piddle out and die. I just it's a different mindset. It's a
Yeah.
very, very big different mindset. So when new people, when you hear that these are new digital assets. In fact, Melissa and I had a discussion after show last week on what my opinion is on about an asset, and I'll touch on that. I don't mind throwing my feet to the fire. Is Bitcoin an asset? Yes. Is XRP an asset? No. Not today. And this was my point. XRP has all the beautiful things you want asset. I mean, a supreme asset. I know it will be a supreme asset, but it is not a supreme asset today because it doesn't have the one thing that Bitcoin has today, and that is the demand plus adoption. I would say adoption first, but then the demand. Though the well-to-dos are not coming to Main Street yet to get our XRP. They are doing that with Bitcoin right now. They're giving us an offer we can't refuse at $70,000. Who'd sell their Bitcoin at $70,000? Someone that bought at 15, they're up 300%. I'm not going to fault anybody for doing that. That's just what we do. It's human nature. That's a lot of money to us, right? That could be a lot of money to. I know $70,000 a lot of money to me. I mean,
Yeah.
that's about 1 year's worth of wages for some. It's 2 years worth of wages for others. That's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So, so these are they're leaving our hands, but they're an asset. How's an asset? Because an asset in this right now, Bitcoin, has an ETF. What's ETF? That's a product that can be sold to the general public. And the only way you get to create an ETF is you have to have the physical asset. You have to have the real thing before you can make a copy of it and sell it to the public. That's what makes that asset. You have the thing and you can make money multiple times off just the one thing. XRP literally got the vote, last weekend? The AMM, Automated Market Maker, right?
Yeah.
Was it last weekend or this past weekend, right?
I
This
think
last weekend.
Yeah. I think it's like just recently. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple days ago. So here we go. It's like, okay, cool. They voted on it and they said, yes, we're going to do it. Okay, so does that mean it's today? No, it's not today. It's not immediate. They have to roll it out now. There's going to have to be a few brave souls out there to jump in the pool. I don't know if that's going to be me or not. I need to see how this works because now I have an asset, in my opinion of an asset, a thing that can produce more, if you want, I'm going to use the lack of a better term, income, right? I'm getting a return on that, right? So now I have an income producing asset. That's the best asset, in my opinion, that one can have. It is a cornerstone of the very wealthy. The very, very wealthy. Because here's the play for folks like Fidelity, BlackRock, etc. They buy the Bitcoin. They don't care the price because from that one Bitcoin, they can make, say, I'm just speculating here. I got no facts to back this number up. But let's say they're allowed to make 100,000 copies of that one Bitcoin. Okay? Times retail price. So how much is that one Bitcoin actually worth? 100,000 times 70,000 equals boop, 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 boop. A lot of bloody money. That's how that works, right? So how do they do that? They'll make deals with each other. How do they? It's a deal. They got things moving without any out-of-pocket money except to buy the asset. But BlackRock, arguably, do you think they reached into their own back pockets and bought the bloody Bitcoin with their own bloody money? No, probably not. They probably used their investors' money to go get the Bitcoin. Again, they made a deal. Nothing out of their back pockets. Okay, now that's all hypothetical. I don't know how those boys truly play and how they have to play, but there's a book called Other People's Money. Anyways, whatever.
Oh, I got to give a shout out to our beautiful Lupe.
Lupe's in the house. What? Hey.
Love you, my friend. Miss you. That's awesome. Yep. Oh, I'm glad we stayed a little bit late.
Going a little late for the West Coasters. But yeah, you feel me? I mean, like, cause I'm on board with the XRP as an asset. It's got all the great things about being an asset, like everything. It's fast, better than Bitcoin, arguably on that. The technicals, it's all there. We just need that stupid little demand thing, and then we can, then we can do it, baby. The partnerships are there. Yes. But the demand is not.
I have to say, I agree with you somewhat with that, but it is. I think we should do another show on this because there are so many things that you just touched on right there that I think would be a great show to have a full conversation, and one of it is the good, the bad, the ugly with the Bitcoin ETF, and what does it actually mean for the long run? I mean, between that and then the potentials that they're saying, possibly XRP, possibly Ethereum, all of the big players, and turning it into a thing and a set, create more copies and all this stuff, which kind of goes away from the original intent and what people's drive is when it comes to this space with being sovereign and peer-to-peer and all these types of things. However, that's definitely going to be a good topic to talk about when we could really dive into it. Have a portion of my XRP,
right there.
and I am an AMM making interest. That way, the principle is always there. Amen, XRP slave. Yeah,
Slave, are you?
Yeah.
Are you already in there? Wait, Are you already in? Are you? Oh my gosh, it's broken. Are you already in the game? God. On the AMM, MMM, MMM.
Eminem.
10 times fast. Eminem. And here's what you get. You get a woohoo!
Get a lot of pesos.
Right. Yes. Lots of good comments there. Oh, I'm not. Oh, okay, cool. I meant in, not I am.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but in the future, I mean, these are the things that we talked about earlier about seeing it, believing it, planning for it. Make your plan again. To touch back, no emotion if you can help it. Asking yourself the questions: why are you investing in the first place? What are your goals? Difference between accumulating coins for a long-term hold as opposed to grabbing that nasty fiat to maybe make this
easy. Don't hurt its feelings. It'll
it's a
come
little bit
crashing
nasty.
down.
The fiat, a little
Don't
nasty.
do that. It'll come crashing down.
But well, this has been what? This has been a great conversation. I enjoyed talking with you today.
I enjoyed talking with you too. I was just gonna say go Dinars.
Oh. That's a whole nother show in itself too.
I know, and that's probably, I don't know. Yeah, that crowd can be. Yeah, that crowd. Got love for the crowd. There's a lot of work going on there. But
it's a fun crowd.
It is a fun crowd. Anybody got anything else? I know we went like almost a half hour over.
And we still have 48 people watching live. Amen.
Dude,
you guys, we love you.
Please
follow our channel at Dip a Toe, both on Rumble, on YouTube. We're on Twitter at the handle at Dip a Toe. If you guys would like and share and subscribe to our channel and help us get a little bit more of a following to get us some momentum, I would really appreciate it. And it would also be super cool if we could get our spaces working sometime. And we would love to hear your comments and your suggestions on what you'd like us to cover. And maybe even one of you would be interested in coming on the show with us and having a discussion with us, So just reach out. You can also email us at dipatoe.show@gmail.com if you have any inquiries. If you want to sponsor our show, I'm just kidding. If you want to sponsor our show.
If you want to sponsor our show, we're going to have to do a psych eval on you because anybody that sponsors the show right now got to be at least three nuts shy of a full bolt. But that's what makes us good. Final thoughts, Melissa.
My final thoughts is I'm super stoked for this bull run. I'm happy that I'm a little bit more educated in this space right now. I'm excited that I'm kind of understanding what's happening, and I feel blessed to have friends like yourself and all of the wonderful people that are watching our show. And
me too.
As
appreciate all the love we get.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about this space to me is everyone's willingness to help lift each other up.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's probably one of the best parts about this space. Absolutely.
Yes, wonderful people. I mean, XRP Slave and his desire to want to help others. I mean, Brent, there's so many people in here in this space that is their desire. And just imagine, guys, when we actually do reach our goal in terms of becoming more wealthy than we already are, because we are wealthy because we're great people and we know each other and we want to do good things. But when we actually do have the means to help, there's so many of us that want to do it, and together collectively, man, we're a force. So that's my final word. I'm just super stoked, and I love everybody, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Whoa,
Mic drop.
man, man, I don't even think I can beat that. I'm just gonna have to agree with everything you just said, and make sure you plan your trade your plan, and learn, master, teach,
Amen.
and repeat. That's all I
Teach
got.
and repeat.
These are my
All right,
deuces.
guys. Huh?
There's the cabooses.
We'll see you guys next time. Join us next week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Don't forget to subscribe.